live is starting. Woohoo! Okay. Where are we? There it is. Turn my phone off. Hey! Uh-oh. Continue without SHD. Continue. Let's see what happened here. Oops. Let me move this. Don't want to end the live. Don't want to end the live. Gotcha. Okay. Hey, everybody. How are you all today? I got Chantel E.H. Alvarez. I'm not sure your first name. Gorgeous day of spring in Vermont. I will tell you here, we are batting down the hatches for severe storms tonight. Hey, Paula, you ready for the storms tonight? They're going to roll in about 10. Did you see what happened at Melody's in Kansas today? Holy cow, she got hit. Got lucky, but she got hit. We're doing good, Bambi. Mr. Wilson is still having issues. More about that later. Storms were gone from the other day, but they're rolling in again tonight about 10:30. So he's been out, had our tornado shelter open, bug sprayed it, brushed out the spider webs, put, supplies down there, water, flashlights, bucket, toilet paper. Got to have that stuff, right? So he'll be ready. But bigger than that, coming into where we live one way and the other way, both of those bridges, the rivers are up almost to the bridge. And we saw that the guys today were checking, there's gates that lock those people from driving on that when it floods. And they were checking those gates today, which tell me they're anticipating that flooding in the next couple days with the storms. I'm buying a house and it comes with chickens. Yay! And a chicken coop. Oh, how fun. Do your research. They already have chickens. Okay, let me know what kind of chickens, because when you're a first-time chicken person, there's a couple breeds that are super docile and really easy. All of the chickens are pretty easy, but I can help you out there. All right, let me see. Let me get me on YouTube real quick. Let me get to YouTube so that I can see what's going on there. And there we are. Live on YouTube. Turn my ringer off. And yay. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Hi, Diane and Susan. All right. We are expecting weather. Did y'all see Melody's post? Melody Adams, she got hit today. Their electricity is back on, but their new addition on their shop got blown off, and great big huge trees just missed her son's house by like inches. I think it's something like 3 inches. And they were down in their shelter, so I'm like, okay, Mr. Wilson, go fix our... It seemed like yesterday he was doing that, but it was last tornado season. Hey, Vicki. Hey, Carla. Does it feel like time is flying to the rest of you? I mean, seems like we go to bed, get up, work, go to bed, get up, work, go to bed, get up, work, and life is just flying by. Holy schmoly, guys. Okay, so today I'm going to show you, I did, we had that event at our local clay supplier here, Trinity Ceramics. Connor, who was the manager for years and years and years, he bought the place him and his wife. And so they were doing their grand reopening, and we were asked to do demos. We were there, and Mako was there, and it was really exciting. And his wife asked if we could bring all new designs for the opening. So we got busy and we created some new designs of things that I had told you were coming. Melody, you're here, but barely. Oh my gosh, now that's dedication, Melody. I would totally understand if you weren't here. But I'm always excited to see you. Oh, hold that thought, guys. Hold that thought. Be right back. Move, guys. Be right back. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I've got to show you what I have been drinking my coffee out of. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Miss Melody Adams sent me this mug for my birthday last week, or has it already been 2 weeks now? But I've been drinking my coffee out of this. It's perfect. I love it. And I even took it with me when I went to do the demos at Trinity. And this is what I was drinking out of at Trinity. And then another one of our really good friends and customers, Cindy Dormer, you see her on here all the time. I don't see her on as yet. Cindy fell and hurt herself pretty good. And she's, she lives not too far from here. Well, from Trinity, she lives maybe an hour. I'm not sure how far, but she was with her daughter with a crutches, cane, whatever, and she cracked her patella. Anyway, she came in to say hi and to bring me a birthday gift. Look at this porcelain chicken necklace. Is that not freaking adorable? And in the flowers, the eye is a rhinestone and the flower on the tail is a rhinestone. I mean, it's so bright and shiny and so perfect. I thought it was glass. I said, oh my God, I didn't know you did glass. And she said, I don't. That's porcelain. But look at that. I thought it was glass. It's so gorgeous. So she brought me that. She goes, here, I brought you something for your birthday. I'm like, you came all the way out here in pain and hurt to bring me that and say hello. Now those are wonderful customers. So Miss Melody and Miss Cindy, I love them both. Love them. Okay, so where do we begin? I told you that I was coming out with organics. I have 3 different sets of organics. I'm only showing one tonight. And like I said, I debuted these at Trinity and people loved them. And they look like this. I don't know if you can see that, how those all go. I had to, I popped them out of the forms and I haven't done anything to the rims yet. But I forgot to turn my camera on when I popped them out. I'm going to show you if I can do it without dropping them. Look at this. Can you see that? Is that not gorgeous? Look at that organic shape. What fun dinner table or individuals that would be. So I'm going to show you those. The other thing we debuted there were our new Chunkies. I put in all my stuff. Meet the Chunkies and the Muggies. Well, these are the Chunkies. They're back here. And so the Chunkies are several of our favorite forms in a 5-inch, 1-inch. And we have Sweetie Pie, Wiggle Squares, Lucky Clover, y'all know what this is. Fancy Rectangle. Look at this. And our new Baroque Rectangle. This shape has just been going like banana cakes. And with the 1-inch, I'm going to show you what some of these look like. And we did Birdie Baker. And we did, of course, our Whimsy Heart. And then we did a fun one that I haven't even taken out yet. And this one is, let me pull this out. What do you see? Tell me what you see. All of them, by the way, have, and my name's on them because I had them at the event and I had to keep mine separate from the ones that were for sale. They all have the double hole in them to pull them right out. But what do you see here? Put it in the chat. What is it that you see? I am seeing everybody from YouTube. Why am I not seeing Facebook? Hold on. Let me find Facebook real quick, guys. Sorry. Facebook, where are you? Great. There you are. Oh, Susan's there. Stacy's there. Okay. Yes. I hear bear, bear, bear. But what else do you see? What else do you see? Point the ears and put on a snout and make it a pig. Yep. Something else, though. Hold on. I'll be right back. Watch out, guys. I'm coming. I'm going to show you what my inspiration was for this. Did anybody answer it yet? Nope, everybody is saying a bear. Okay, a bear. However, here was my inspiration. First off, I will tell you that my grandkids, especially my grandson, spent a lot of time with us. And he next week finishes his first year of college at Texas A&M for engineering. And I swear that boy went off to college last week. Where the year went, I don't know. But we're still eating off the plates that we had for all the kids. And you know, the last name is Hoppy. What do you see? It's a frog. Anybody see the frog now? This was my inspiration for this. So it could be a teddy bear, but it could also be a frog. And for those of you that don't draw, I'm going to create a stencil. Oh God. I'm going to create a stencil that you can, you know, for the eyes and the mouth and the nose that you could quick paint in there. I'm sure Paula could create it, just paint it. But it's a frog, it's a bear. So this was just a fun one we threw in the name of my grandkids. There was a little girl. Oh, Deborah. Do you go by Deborah or Deb? I should have got that. Okay, so, oh, yes, you should have got that collecting frogs. There was a little girl at the demo this weekend. And she was with her mom and her dad. And her mom is the clay person. And her and dad were just tagging along, right? And this little girl was probably about 8 years old. And she was standing there at my table and she saw the bear there. And she was like, oh, Mommy, that's so cute. Daddy, can I have it? Can I get one? And Daddy said to her, this is Mommy's thing. Let's just sit back and let Mommy do her thing, right? And she stood right back, didn't throw a fit, didn't whine, didn't cry, didn't nothing. She was just great. And so I reached over and I picked it up. And I said, here, sweetie, you can have this. And then when Mommy's doing clay, maybe she can show you how to make this in clay. And that little girl just lit up and she was like, oh, really? Well, yes, really, it's yours. So anyway, so I gave that to her and she was so appreciative and she was so good. I think there's not enough rewards for good behavior these days. I mean, everybody's kind of rewarded. The bad kids are rewarded if they do one thing good. And the good kids just don't get rewarded. So she was just really good. So she got rewarded. Anyhow, so that is that. So these are, they're not on the website, but they will be. So these are our new Chunkies. And they're 5 inches. And you can do these without, and I have a little video, no rim, no nothing. But if you put the corresponding rim, it takes this little tiny dish and makes it much bigger. That was my chair, by the way, and that was Melody's mug that just got hit. Let me grab some of these. Okay, here's a couple of these. So here's the teddy bear, and this is what size dish it makes. Now, you could also put a template on there. What else could you do? You know, you could put a curvaceous square template. And so you have that curvaceous square, and in the middle, the dish is a teddy bear. Really cute. Here's what I just said it a minute ago. The fancy rectangle. Here's what fancy rectangle, and this is how tall they are at the 1 inch. These are 1 inch. This is still the high grade, exterior grade material we use. Even in the 1 inch, it's just still the very high grade. So it's not going to swell up on you. It's not going to crack. It's not going to mold. They'll last pretty much a lifetime. We have taken this and put it in water for 24 hours. Just sunk it in water for 24 hours. Pulled it out and put it on a towel and left it for another 24 hours. And you could never tell anything was done to it. So, great material. Will those be a set or sold separately? You know, you all tell me. Do you want to? Well, there's 8 of them, so I wouldn't sell an 8-piece set because not a lot of people would want to buy an 8-piece set. Look at the little Baroque one. The Baroque rectangle. Oh my gosh. Soap dish, sponge dish, little candy dish, little dessert dish. These are so cute. And then, of course, the heart. The big heart. It is a great size. And I think they're going to be like $12, $13. They're very inexpensive. And then, like I said, I showed you the bear. Of course you would, Deb. She would press those ears to make it a goat. Did you see the video I took for you when we went to the zoo for my daughter's birthday? I got in and got down on my knees for the goats for you. Chunkies. These are our Chunkies. Will they be different sizes? They can be different sizes. We haven't put them out there yet. What would you guys like to see? Now, I'll tell you right now, every one of our shapes that we make, we will be making a chunky in and posting them out there. So you can go with the regular size or you could go with the chunky. Tell me, do you want them at a set? How about all animal styles together and other shapes together? Why don't I have one animal style? Oh, two. I got the bear and the bird. The birds and the bears, not bees. Not the birds and the bees. So anyway, we'll stick those out there. And yes, I did, girl, and posted it on my Facebook page. Loved it. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so put it in the comments what you would like to see on this. What you would like to see. How you would like us to put those together for you. But they're super simple, super easy to make, and make an adorable little dish. Chip and dip. Yes. I love that one, Penny says. Which one is that one? Penny, which one are you talking about? You love that one. Okay, so again, the other thing we did was we finished up our organics. This is just one. It's called stepping stones because they're like just different stepping stones. And these, we didn't even create templates for. We just did them. I've got a video for you of me making them. Pretty much made just with my hands. Super simple. And look at them. And of course, I didn't do the rims yet. I will do those later. I spied something on that table, that bowl form with a small base. Yeah, I don't have those listed out there. I'm assuming you meant this one. That would be a morning glory. That will be a class that's coming to a community near you soon. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you a video on making that real quick. Let me explain something. Should I explain it? There's going to be some big changes around here. And what those big changes are is this group is going to be pretty much, your morning glories are just about ready to bloom. So are mine. Look at that. Look at that. It's going to bloom. And it's going to have a stand. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, this group is going to go back to be dedicated to what I started it for, which was our sales page. We're makers, we make product, and this is going to be our sales page where we show you new product, old product, things you can make with it, and that kind of thing. But in the hour that I'm live, I'm just going to do little things. I'm not going to do like big full-on projects. And I have so many of those. The bear frog goat. That's so cute. Deb, it's now a goat. So Deb Garner, if you're still on, let me know you're still on. And if you're still on, I'm going to send you a bear. I'm just going to send you a bear. But what you have to do in return is make it a goat and post it. Will you do that? Are you still on? Let me know if you'll do that and I'll send you a bear because I want to see it as a goat. You make it a goat, I send you the bear. Anyway, so this is going to be more about our sales page. And I'm going to reopen Slab to Fab. However, it is going to be the Sassy Swoopers community. And that's where we're going to do our projects. So here, you know, I may throw a piece of clay over a form to show you how our forms and stuff work. But the big fun stuff is going to be in the group, where I can take more than an hour and I can create some really big projects and some really fun and some higher level and just level it up. I get tired of just throwing a slab over a form and saying, oh, I got a plate or I got a bowl. There, even with our fancy stuff, there are so many different things that can be done. Will you go, there's the hand. Hey, hand, will you go grab me the 3-piece bowl set and then the one with the tall foot? I want to show you, this is becoming a show and tell. Oh, that's funny. His hand just went off on my phone. So it's way lagging. So, for instance, this form. I did a set of 3 out of porcelain, which was crazy in itself. And look at that. 3 different glazes. It's bougainvillea. Oops. Bougainvillea. I got them all sideways. Bougainvillea, sunrise, and papaya. So it's different size or different shapes. Gosh dang it, different colors. Okay. But look at this. Here's a bowl, right? That is this form. Just a bowl. No foot. But look how perfectly round that bottom is. I mean, look at that. Okay. All of these kind of finishing touches, these are all going to be in the groups. I love the plates that you've created. Those are going to be so fun. Yeah, they are so fun. But this is a bowl. I want this one. Now, not yet. I need it for a second. And so then you can take this form and really level it up. I don't like the glaze job on this, but look at, and my camera's cockeyed. These are really straight, but look at the difference in these 2 bowls. When you put a rim on it, it's the exact same size form. Again, don't look at the glaze job. I got to refire it. But with a big foot and a rim, perceived value, this is going to win every time. People will pay more for this than this because of the perceived value. Because it's got a foot and a rim. But that's the same form and they look totally different, right? So, when I create these, I create them with other projects in mind besides just throwing a slab of clay over it and calling it a bowl. And I just don't have time to do those on a 1 hour live. So, resurrecting or recreating Sassy Swoopers Art Society, SAS, if you will, where we will level up and we will play with SAS. So, more of that coming because that's my focus these next few weeks is to get that up and running. Mr. Wilson is having some health issues, so we're going to have to slow him down a bit. Anyway, I'm going to give you all the details on the slab or on the Sassy Swoopers later. What else? Oh, so we introduced the organics, the Chunkies, and the Muggies at Trinity. And the Muggies are over there. Let me grab those. Not enough room for everything over there. I just threw clay on so you could see the design. But these are our new Muggies. It's a mug board, the Muggie, with the name of our name, what it is, and something on the back, which could be the foot, or I mean the bottom, or you can put extra clay and you can create a bottom anywhere or any design you want. Now let me show you. This is that butterfly flower that I did in the pen, but let me show you what that looks like. I just cut these out and haven't done anything with them, and they were getting so hard I probably won't be able to do anything with them now, but they'll be good for pictures for the website. Look at this. Is that not, wouldn't that make a gorgeous mug? And I don't know if you can see, I don't have my overhead on, how high these flowers stick out. But what a gorgeous mug that would be. Okay, there's that one. This one was super popular. And then this one, and I didn't even trim this one. Let me take this off. That one was butterfly flower. This one, I have cornstarch all over it. This one is called Cosmo Flowers. This one was, I'd have to say, my most popular at Trinity. Cosmo Flowers. And the butterfly for the foot or the bottom. Unless you wanted to just do a flower. And that, what that one looks like is, and again, I didn't trim this up, but look at this. And it's very deep. This was like the most popular design at Trinity. We only took a few of each, not knowing how they would go. And I didn't even have one of these to demo because it was like gone like that. And then here's the butterfly from the back. I just wanted you to see what it looked like. And then we did our Montana leather. Did that on a Muggie. Whoops. Did that on a Muggie. And the back is just a couple of the flowers. No, I have not put them on the website because we've been dying. If you'll notice, y'all don't yell at me over this. If you'll notice on our website, all of our deep forms are posted as out of stock. We put those out of stock because it is more important for us to not be way too far behind than money. Mr. Wilson is way far behind because we did that sale on when we brought out the casseroles with the lids and in this form. And we brought those out and he got annihilated. These are solid. They're not just glued, they're nailed. It takes three days to create the form, the block, and all of the time involved, and he's like way behind. So we put everything in out of stock so that he can't get more overwhelmed and farther behind and get people, you know, that place an order and in 2 weeks are like, where's my order? Well, you're not getting it in 2 weeks. But let me show you. Good job, guys. Okay, so much for the video tonight. I'm doing show and tell. Our Baroque forms. Y'all know which forms are the Baroque that just came out that are these, right? So I took and did stacked 3 of them. And this is what it made. That's just 3 of our regular forms stacked on top of each other. And look what that made. So, that's going to fall. Paula, you're on. So I went ahead and fired that heart, even though that was my porcelain that we left it uncovered and it cracked all to high heaven. But I had created a new color for you, so I wanted to go ahead and fire it. Look at that red. Look at that red, Paula. I created you a new color. I mixed 2 colors together. And I have it over there so I could tell you what it is, but I don't know it right this minute. But look at that color. And that is the fire flowers on the back with the stencil from the spring box or the March box on the top. But look at that color. It's cracked all the heck, but that's okay. I wanted to fire it anyway. The heart form with our leather flourish. Look at that. And look at that's just a reflection, but look at these bottoms. Look at how I get those bottoms perfect. And look at that. So these forms are amazing, but we had to, local recording stopped. Uh-oh. Well, so my local recording stopped because I'm out of space on my machine, which means this is not probably going to be able to be posted. Look at this. This is Bougainvillea, just Bougainvillea. But see how it runs down into the grooves on these forms? I mean, you just can't hand build these and get this look. And that's what we've worked so hard to make for you guys. And then, okay, so my first playing with porcelain didn't go quite as well as I'd planned because, silly me, I fired it on stilts and it warped. But you can see, look at this. Again, look at the bottom. Look at the handle. This one's got to be refired too. But look at that built-in gallery. Other than it worked. Well, look at that for a casserole. I mean, this would compete heavily with a wheel thrower. So you hand builders can now do a casserole. See the warp? So it only goes in one way. And it really looks warped because this didn't go down over here. So it's going to get reglazed. But it gives you an idea of what it actually looks like. And I haven't glaze fired the Dutch oven yet. But look at this Dutch oven. I've shown this to you before. This has been bisque fired. I don't know if you can see in here. These are colored clay. If I stick this in water, yeah. These are going to be flower parts that I just had them in there. But with the built-in gallery, you can now make perfect casseroles every time. So, yeah, the Muggies are going to be helpful. Very, very helpful. Let me put this back. Okay. I didn't intend for this to turn into this, but it did, and I wanted you to see it. So, let's see. Let me see what I have on Facebook. I've got Stacy, Kim, Deb, Susan, Jean Ward, Chris Drew, Penny. And we've got the Muggies boards, but we're doing Muggy pins, which are going to be the exact size of a mug. That's coming. But regardless, what time is it? Let me play the video just to show you how I did one of these big organics. These are the stepping stones. Let me play the first video so you can see just how easy they actually are. Let me find it. Here we go, right here. Oops. Hello. 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 All right, we are here. We missed a week or two, but we are back. And what I'm going to show you tonight, I'm going to be using my banding wheel system. It locks on to the banding wheel so it can't slide off. They're also designed for our peg system. Oops. And it expects a template of sorts of a 1/4 inch. So I'm not going to use a template. Let me shut this door. Sorry, Judy, you're too loud. Had to stop the bird. Okay. I'm not going to use a template with what I'm going to make, but it expects it. So I'm going to put this on here just as a spacer. Put my peg in. And put my block on. This is our riser block. See if I can get this from being, sorry, makes it, I don't know why I can't get it to ever look straight. It just doesn't. Okay, anyhow, my riser block. Now, I'm not using a template, so I will put another spacer on top because you only want X amount of this peg sticking up because you don't want to beat it in there. If you ever get it in too tight, what you would do is simply take a pair of pliers. Oh, that one's not even in there. And I would take a hold of it and just lightly wiggle like this. Lightly wiggle it back and forth, and it'll then come out for you. I'm not wiggling it back and forth quite enough. Get in there. Just like this, and it'll come right out. So don't beat it in and don't squish it out. So let me put this back in here. Put this one back on here. Put my template back on. And as promised, the organic set is here. Look at this set. Oh my gosh. All kinds of fun going on with this. I'm going to make the big one for you. I should make the next size down, but I'm making the big one. Where's my center? There it is. There it is. And see, this block, what it does, let me move my clay. What this block does is makes it stable. It's not going anywhere. All right, this is irritating me. Maybe. Hold please. That's probably the best I'm going to get. So we're going to go with that. Hold on. Sip, sip. Okay. So I have my clay. It's B-Mix. Got B-Mix back. And it's a little over a 1/4 inch thick because I was going to texture it, but I decided I wanted you to see the actual shape. This is an 11 inch. This set goes from 5, 6.5, 8, 9.5, and 11. If you want these forms to make bigger plates, use a template with them and give them a really fun shape. We can put templates out that mimic this exact shape of each of the 5. So you can make a bigger shape or a bigger plate with that. Or pretty much any roundish type shape will make an excellent looking dish. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take this slab of clay, scooch it over so I can get you in the camera. And then I'm just going to kind of drop it on there, just like that. And see these little folds? These little folds, I'm just going to kind of lift and push. Super simple. I say that, but I've been doing it a while. If you haven't been doing it a while, you tend to want to hurry up and get those wrinkles out. Don't be in a hurry. They'll come out. And once I get them pretty much out, I can just lightly press in. I've started showing you guys this several years ago when we first came out with our dual drape system. I'm going to take my sponge and just kind of come around this edge. Now, we are the first ones that created these rounded edges so that we could not have sharp edges and make our corners break, and I love them. So what I'm going to do is take my knife and I'm just going to come in and spin this around and take a lot of this weight right off of here. You don't want to go too much. You take this weight right off. Just like that. And I'm not even going to put a foot on this tonight. I just want to show you so many things. And then, what are you supposed to do from here? We get to swooping. So I'm going to take my rib and I'm just going to kind of start swooping down on these corners. I have it bent like this to kind of swoop this. That's going to take, if you see any type of little stress cracking, it's not a crack that's going to crack your dish, but this will take that out. Now, because it's on my banding wheel system and it's not going to go anywhere, I can spin this around and get all of that down perfect. Let me take this little bit of slip off of here. All right, now that I've pressed that down, I can just come around. And again, I'm kind of swooping it down. If I had texture, I would be a little gentler if I had texture on the inside. I do not. So the only thing I want to be careful of is I don't want to smush this down to where when I cut this off, my rim will be very uneven. So I'm just kind of going straight down with it. Now, I just lightly wetted my hands so they'll just kind of slide. Just kind of slide down. Just like that. Now you can see the shape of this. Isn't this fun? Fun, fun. All right. I don't know where my towel went, so I use my apron. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold my fingers right here Let me come over. I'm gonna come straight up and then turn my knife so it just glides around the bottom of this form. So up and over, and then notice my thumb just kind of pushes that clay under as I spin this around so that helps me get an even rim, just like this. Take your time, you don't want to slip a petal. Take that off. Okay. Look at how fun that is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around with my sponge. It's very lightly damp. Kind of roll this top, smooth out these edges. And I can see where I stuck my finger right there. So, kind of the queen of fix-it because I'm the queen of mess-it. So, I'm just going to come around, again, squeeze, and come around. Just like this. Wipe that excess slip, and then come around the top, just to make this rounded over and gorgeous. And that's it. It's done. I'm going to let it sit before I flip it, and we'll be back to flip it in a while. That took me 10 minutes, and I was talking. Okay, now I want to show you when I do the smaller one. Watch this. Watch this, and put your timer on. Well, I have another little piece of clay here, and I wanted to show you, I've already compressed it and everything, but I wanted to show you as the forms get smaller, it even gets much easier. So I'm going to take this little piece of clay, just going to kind of pop it on there, and just push it down very lightly with my hands. See how easy that goes down? And that's kind of it. I'm going to take my knife and do my normal thing. I push down with my thumb. I bring the knife up to the form, turn it, and go sideways. And keep it pressed up against that form, pushing the clay in. Whoops. Don't talk and cut, Sharon. Pushing the clay in with my thumb, keeping your eye on your knife blade to make sure it's in so you don't do a slip the petal like I just did. Just like that. And that's how easy and that's how quick it is. So now, that's as you get smaller, it gets that much easier. So I'm going to go around with my yellow rib just to flatten this out. Like that. And then back to my little red rib. My little swooping rib. My little favorite, right? And just bring this around. Smooth that off, and I lightly come down the side like that. And that's it. And we'll wait for it to dry. And that was a whole whopping 2 minutes. 2 minutes, guys. See you in a bit. Okay. 2 minutes. You could probably do this whole set of 5. Clay on, swoop it down, cut the excess, set it aside. You could probably do the whole set of 5, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and have a set of 5 organic shapes. The Muggies are 12.5 by 5.25, I believe, on the front. Our other boards, we do have our other texture boards that are almost 7 inches in height. But, you know, that's kind of big for a mug. Here's another one I didn't show you. I don't know if you can see this. This is honey flux all over. And again, you can see where the line is for the, not one single thing out of this glazed load ran. Every single thing stopped at the wax mark. But that's a different, completely different shape, different design, different plate. Rolling out the clay. Yeah, rolling out the clay on the slab roller. And for me today, this was all leftover clay I had rolled out to take to the demo in Trinity. So I was really just using up. Also, while the video was playing, I took where is it? I took this and went around the edges, and look at the difference going around those edges. Remember I showed you it wasn't cleaned up? Just a few times of going around the edge like that, and look at how pretty that is. And that's what I did on all of these. I think that's probably, since it's not recording because my machine ran out of space, so this video won't post. Oh, let me show you. So a couple other designs on these Muggies. Everybody so loved the fire flowers. So we did a large and a small fire flower. This is the small. Looks like this. Can you imagine a mug like that? Is that not gorgeous? And we did, and then we have one in the same design but large flowers. That's the small. And then the falling flowers. And it has just falling flowers on the back. And this one, again, is our small Montana. And it has that on the back. I think we have one with our Rolling Miss Daisy. And one with our Lattice Flourish. Those all sold out as well, so I didn't have time to run more of those today. You might be able to see the smaller design on this one better. Look at that. So, anyway, those are coming. Which is your favorite of the Muggies, of the designs that I showed you? Was it Cosmo Flowers? I want to have a poll here. I want people to put it in the comments. Was it Butterfly Flowers? Was it our Montana Leather? That's the large Montana Leather. Was it Fire Flowers? Was it? So, what was your favorite? Jan says Montana Leather. Was it small or large? This one's large. This one's small. Small and large. Melody says Cosmo. Renee says Butterfly. Love the Muggies. Butterflies is my favorite. All of them. Cosmos. I want to tell you, if I hadn't have rolled it out, I know for sure that when I took these to Trinity when people saw this, and I have a rolling pin of this. And then the rolling pin's out on the website. People looked at that and went, oh, that's kind of cute. When I rolled it out, and they actually, I don't know if you can see the depth of these flowers. I mean, these little flowers just like pop up. When they saw it rolled out, they were gone. So seeing things rolled out versus just seeing them on a board is very, very different. And what do you think of this design, guys? You've never seen this one before. This is Honey Flux. No. Yes. That's what that is. I expected a little more color than white, but you can see the whole design through it. So that, I guess, was good. Small. I prefer cups that aren't too heavy and don't like too much coffee at once because it gets cold. Butterfly flowers and fire flowers. You can make these smaller if you want to. And I'm a big mug person. I like 18 to 20 ounces. And I will tell you, I do not put my ceramic mugs in the microwave. I know people say you can. I just don't. Most of my mugs that I use have been gifts to me from customers, and I want to keep them forever, so I do not put them in the microwave. But I will tell you that when I pour myself a cup of coffee in the morning, I probably heat that cup of coffee at least 3 times. I pour it into my Pyrex mixing pitcher to stick it in the microwave and reheat it and then pour it back in my mug because I personally don't want to put mine in the microwave because I don't want to take a chance on losing some of its life. But I do have to reheat my coffee at least 3 times, and usually by then I just give up and drink it cold. Sometimes I'm still drinking my first morning coffee in the evening, ice cold, because I get busy. But butterfly flowers and fire flowers, large. All right, well, we will be putting these out there. And what do you think as far as the size? We put the design on the front and a bottom on the back if you want the bottom. Like I said, you can always just put clay wherever you want it. Look at that for a bottom. Look at that for a bottom. Even that for a bottom. So you can pick your bottom. I did not just say that. I did not just say that. You can choose what you would like, what design you would like to go on the bottom of your mug. How about that, guys? How about that? Deb, were you on the whole time? Did you hear what I said about this? Let me know if you heard what I said about this, Deb. Mug warmer. Yes, mug warmer. It could be a mug warmer very easily. Deb, did you hear what I said earlier in the broadcast about this? Yes, Stacy, I did just say that. I said something at the demo at Trinity, and I didn't even catch it. All of the customers and Mr. Wilson started busting up, and I was like trying to figure out what they were laughing at. And somebody repeated it, and I was like, oops. People, I swear. You did. Okay. I will be sending you a bear, and I would like you to post a goat. Bear, frog, goat. Because that's how I'm going to post it on the website. It's a bear, frog, goat. So I need a goat. You're the goat woman. That bear could also be a kitty. Yeah. You could take, how about that? I'd have to do a little better job. kitty. Kitty. What else do you want to see? What is the name of the plate you held up with the honey flux? You know, there's no name to this yet. It was actually going to be one of the project boxes. And then I did something else instead. But this was going to be a project box. And so I've never actually put this design out. So it doesn't have a name. You want to name it? We can name that. That goes along the leather, my leather series. It goes along with the leather series. But I've just not named it. All right, that's really kind of it that I had for you tonight. Perfect for Halloween. The cat, yeah. This is going to have to go in the trash because I've squeezed and poked and prodded it so much. I'm still trying to figure out how to do a goat. Maybe more like that, Deb? The next project box has not been put up for reserve yet. I was going to do that. And then I was trying to let Mr. Wilson catch up a little bit, but I will probably put the pre-order for it. I need to put it up tomorrow while we're still in this month because it needs to be released in May to keep with my every other month. So I might put it out tomorrow. Watch for that. And then watch for Stacy stalking the website. And then watch for Clayin' with Sass, the Sassy Swooper Art Society. We are actually going to make this happen. There's going to be a lot of perks in that because Mr. Wilson needs to slow down. We will probably, when we come out with something, we're probably going to offer it to that group first. We are going to start making product and then putting it out. So there will be X amount of something. And when it's gone, it's gone. We're not going to do make to order. And so it will be offered to our Sassy group first. And if it's gone, then it doesn't go out to the general public. And if there's some left, it's going to go out to the general public. We're creating this group with so many perks that you just will not want to not be in this community. And this is going to be a community where I'm not just going to sit and make things and show it to you. We're all going to be involved. We're all going to have fun. We're going to do, hold on. It's coming. Zoom calls where you don't have to have your camera on and you don't even have to have your mic on. You can just sit back and watch the show and enjoy. Or you can have your camera on and your mic on. Well, you won't have your mic on during the presentation. I'll shut those all off. But you can have your camera on. And then after, or I see questions, I can turn your mic on and say, okay, Stacy, what was your question? And you can just speak up and say what your question was. So we're going to do interactive sessions. We're going to do a big class every month. You're going to get discounts to the workshops, big discounts to the workshops. And there are going to be workshops that you're not going to want to miss. Now, if you don't want to join the club, the community, the Sassy group, you don't want to play with Sass with us, that's okay. If we do a workshop, you can purchase that. And I'm considering the class of the month for those that aren't in the workshop, may be able to, in the community, may be able to purchase that just as a class of its own, but it will be double the cost of the group. So anyway, with the morel mushroom. Oh, you know what? So Karen, and I'm doing this because I have a jar with brushes right where I'm trying to read. Make a pin that has morel mushrooms, red mushrooms, and fiddle the head fern. Hold, please. Hold, please. Where is... Watch out, baby. Watch out, baby. Where are you? Well, I don't know where it went, and I don't know why I didn't show it, but where did it go? I would lose my head, guys. I've got, hey, Mr. Wilson, are you in the house? Mr. Wilson, are you in the house? Wait, might be right there. Hold on. I guess it's sold out. I did mushroom. This one is the space shrooms, but I did a new mushroom pin and a mushroom muggie, and I guess it sold out both in the pin and the muggies because I don't have one, but I did do one, and so it will be on the website. And it has mushrooms and ferns, and you have the gnome one. Oh, cool. Okay, but I did do mushrooms. I guess I forgot to print a new one of that. I didn't realize it had sold out as well. It was crazy. The demo was crazy. I will tell you. We got there at 8 to set up. We started at 9. And I was bent over a short table standing on concrete. And I didn't come up for air until almost 1 o'clock. Look in the box on my desk in the shipping room. Oh, hold please. No.
Is that getting hotter?
Yeah.
Did you look in the box on my desk?
I did. It's not there. It must be one of the ones that sold out because I don't have it or the board.
You sure?
Well, as far as I could see. Anyway, it'll be up on the site. So, all right, that's it. This live turned into a show and tell. Was not my intention. But remember, this group was created to show product as a maker. And we're going to go back to that in our real big projects. And I'll do little things. But our big projects are going to be within the new community. And let's see. You could name in mine.
In there.
What?
There's not one in there.
I know. I looked. Let's see. There was a question. Now I don't see where it went. Anyway, so I'll get all that stuff up on the website because all of that stuff I make, and Mr. Wilson can play catch up with his other stuff. And I will be working on getting the Sassy Swoopers up, and we will go with there. I will be making it affordable. But not, $5 because I have to pay for my time, but it's going to be all about y'all. So that is, oh, crap. Oops. I just dropped my phone on my heart. And you're online, you know who's texting me. So my broken heart is for you. What? You got one? Oh well. All right, but I will see y'all soon. Bye.